All right, in this video, we are going to show you how we set down our campsite, and this is just how we do it. But if you have any suggestions for us, please leave them in the comments below. We'd welcome your ideas.
And be sure to hit the link above, because that's going to send you out to our other how-to videos, and you get to see many things that we've done with our fifth wheel.
Now it's time to break down the camper and get ready to move on to our next site. So I have a regular routine that I always do, and I always start with cleaning everything down. This is my cleaning time, so I do all the cleaning first. So let's get started. Now for the vacuuming. Luckily we don't have a lot of carpet. Now it's time for the floors, but I gotta get all the dog stuff off the floors first. Also, we have the dog dish, which reminds me, the very first step that I do before I start anything is get the dog out. We put her in the truck while we're packing up and getting ready to go. Now is the sweeping job. I always start from the furthest point and make my way into the common area here. I also pick up all the things on the floor and get them ready to travel. It's amazing how much dirt accumulates in just a few short days when you're camping in dusty, dirty area, boondocking, well, and even campgrounds. They're mighty dusty. One of the things that I learned is that it's real important to get way underneath this crack right here as the slide in, because there can be rocks underneath here and it can cause scrapes in your linoleum. I know that's just dirt and a little bit of hair and stuff, but I don't sweep it out the door. I just don't believe that that's the right thing to do. It's my dirt. I need to dispose of it. I now leave the broom outside so that Tony can sweep off the slide outs. I take my storage container, put the shampoos in there, take everything off of the shower, put it in the basket to put in the shower floor during travel. These also ride in the shower. My hand soap right here, I leave on the counter. For some reason, it never moves.
We both get there our own way. Thistle and an apple tree. How different two souls can be.
First, you got to put the appliances away. Everything has its place. We take the trash can out, empty it, and then put the coffee machine down there because it's a more secure place for it to be.
But I can bend, turning to understand and sway together.
This bungee cord we leave on the counter, but when it's time to go, I bungee this so that the glasses and the dishes don't fall out. Okay, now before I put the table down, We need to make sure that the server is off, and now it's time to protect the server from moving while we travel. The server's off, but we have these foam rubber or foam cushions that we put on either side of it just to keep it in place.
Same old roots, but I can bend, learning to understand.
So now I want to wipe off this table, but I want to get all the stuff off of it first, of course.
Nothing worth having comes easy, baby. Nothing worth having comes easy, baby.
I keep all these old towels out because now I'm going to put the Berkey in the sink.
Yeah, we fight good.
I'm very protective of my Berkey.
If we both know we'll be together forever.
Okay, so now it's time to put things away to get ready for the slides to come in.
Learning to understand and sway together.
We have our printers here, but because we've bungee corded the printers in place, they're not like straight or anything, but they're in place. We don't have to pack it down and pack it back up. These bungee cords keep it right in place. But what we do have to do is unplug it from the server. So I've got a cord coming from back here. It goes all the way around and then all along the kitchen there.
If we both know we'll be together forever, we can be like the tree.
I use this pillow to put on top of the printers so that if anything were to happen to fall down, the printers are somewhat protected. What I do with these totes is I found a way to have a smaller tote or a bigger tote and a smaller tote, but I found that they would fall off, you know, during travel. So I put a pillow or blankets in place and it stops it from falling down. And then I just make sure that it's all nice and tight and ready to go. Now, before this room is ready, I take the bungee cords because we're going to put the chairs in place. This area here, it has a little bit of void when the two slides are coming in. So this is the only place that we can put these chairs to ride safely during travel.
Till the end.
I take an extra towel and put it around here just to be on the safe side so that during travel it doesn't scratch up the wood. While I'm here, so I don't forget, I'm gonna bungee cord here, and the clock also comes down. This is our second clock, so we want to make sure that it comes down, and I just stick it in our silverware drawer. I always keep this one open.
Together.
Just laying those pictures on the bed, they stay intact just like that. So they never move. I just lay them down there and they're good to go. Of course, make sure that the vent is closed. And another very important thing is to make sure that the shower is latched. These sliding doors are great. They don't take up any room. They don't get in the way when you're getting through the hallway here. We love these sliding doors. But we need to make sure that we snap them shut every time. We've got to turn off the gas, turn off the water pump. One last thing, as I'm absolutely ready to go, we're going to turn off the refrigerator, because during travel we don't leave the gas on. Some people do, some people don't. For us, we just feel safer not having the gas on. So I'm going to turn off the lights, and now it's time for the slide outs to slide back in. I have to label these just to remind myself that this is the bunkhouse. It slide in and out, and the sofa area in and out, and the kitchen in and out. It just helps me remember. But when I sit down, I always put the bunkhouse in first. But we like to have it on power, on electric power. So while we're boondocking, we keep the generator running while we put the slide-ins, so it uses that power versus our battery power. These little tables come in great when we're boondocking because they don't have a picnic table. So we use these as our outside picnic table, but I want to cover them to protect both the wood and the sofa.
All right, let's get started on the outside. So we got all the slide outs in, so that's cool. So the next process that I'll go through is I'll take out all of my coats that I have here inside, and I got to stage everything outside. Although we don't have water hookups here or sewer hookups because we're boondocking, but anyway, we do have our levelers that we have to take care of and put away, and we have electrical to put away. So once we get all this stuff out, I'll usually take off the electric and put all the electric away. Since we're boondocking and we have a generator running, we'll be shutting all of that down. And then we'll make certain that before we're ready to start doing anything with the leveling system is that the JT strong arms down here, we're gonna make certain, and since we're here, we're gonna loosen these up. Once we have all the electrical disconnected, then we'll start the auto leveling system here inside. That will lower, or shall we say, raise the back levelers. And then it will also start raising the front levelers. And by that time, we're ready to pull the truck around and get her hitched up. So let's get started. Okay, you hear what's happening with the generator? So what it's doing is, I want to make certain that all of the gas is out of the carburetor, because our next stop, we're going to be on full electric, and we're going to be on full electric for a good week and a half, maybe 2 weeks before we need the generator again. So we don't want any gas in the carburetor. So basically, I've shut the gas valve off. That gives us a good clean start when we're ready to start the generator back up. Let's finish the process. I tell you, these 50 amp cords, man, and if they're cold, it's really hard to wind these things up.
Why are you winding it so tight?
So Laura asked why we're winding it so tight. I'll show you why. Because I like to have everything stowed away and everything packed up nice and tight. Let me get a couple of the other items to put in here. Okay, so we're just about ready to get the auto leveling system started up here in just a minute. All right, we're just about ready to get things hooked up, but it's going to be important that I want to make certain that the ball here gets greased. So we're gonna get out the grease. The other thing is we gotta make certain that our propane is off. So we'll get the propane shut down. This is the hitch ball loop, and that's what we use. I will typically redo the hitch ball loop every other tow, unless we got a really long tow. But if it's just a couple hour tow, it's plenty lubed up for the second tow. Okay, so final step, ready to auto reconnect everything. And I love this system on the fifth wheel. It's called Lippert, but it automatically puts us back in the same position as we originally unhooked it. So you'll see. But I like to take a walk around, make certain things like the JT strong arms, that they're all loose and everything's prepared. Gas is off, awning is in. I like to lock up the cabinets at the very last. Doors secured. Chocks, the chocks are in place. We don't want any movement going on while we're doing the auto reconnect. Slide out is in. We are disconnected from electric. No issues there. Everything here is stabilized. All of the water has been disconnected if we were someplace where we had water. Sewer disconnected, electric disconnected. So now we're going to do the auto reconnect system. Okay, so we took out our blocks from the back levelers, and now we're ready to reconnect the hitch to the truck. Okay, so we've set. Now we want to put on our safety link for the emergency brakes if everything was to happen. Go to get our electrical set up, and I have to lock back in the JT strong arms. So let's get that done. So this is a little helping hand that helps lock in the actual ball into the pull right system that we have. There's another system, it's called Anderson, very similar, but I have forgotten to lock that ball in once or twice. So what I do is I always put it here in the back right before I start anything, to always do that. And I will always say, Laura, I've locked it in. So that way we both know that it's securely locked in place. Okay, next step is we're gonna go over and take out the chocks. A lot of times during the process doing this, these chocks sometimes can be bound up against the tires, and we do have to maybe move it forward or back. So let's see how we're doing today. That one was loose. That one was loose. Hey, we're good to go. All right, next stop is to take out the blocks that we have here. But one of the things that I don't want to do is I don't want to back up over existing chocks that are already in place. So we're just going to take and we're just going to back it up a little bit, and we're going to take these blocks out a little bit at a time, because I've had these blocks damaged before when you're trying to roll over them a second time. So we're going to back it up a little bit. We're going to take these out. All right, let's get this stuff put away. Okay, and then one of the other things that we always check on is our lights and blinkers. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna let Laura make certain that everything's good to go. All right, so there's a safety check and one last look. We have electric connected. We have the brake off emergency line connected. Doors locked. Propane off. Doors locked. One last check I always like to do. Chocks are out. And since we're out boondocking, we're just taking a quick scan of the campground where we are at. Just wanting to make certain that everything is cleaned up the way we found it. Chocks are out. Propane's off. Looks like we're ready to pull out of here, Laura. Are you ready to hit the road?
Let's go on to our next adventure.
Alrighty. As always, we hope you've liked this video and hope it's become informative on how to take down a fifth wheel and get ready to move on to your next campsite.
Follow our adventures by hitting that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you get notified when we release our next video.
And make sure to give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on our next adventure.